Okay, Fresh Bake behind me, the walls are down, heading into what is still Critter Country today, but tomorrow or next month or whenever, it's going to be Bayou Country. Walls are down, the attraction's open. We're going to see more than just Winnie the Pooh or the 100 Acre Wood. Let's go put eyes on what we can see down there. It's kind of a lot. The entrance to Hungry Bear is unobstructed. It's not open, but it looks like it could be, but we're still waiting for the new Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree. That sign will be going here, but it looks like they've kept some, or are keeping some of those critter characters as you walk up the ramp, so that's pretty good. It's going to look very much like it did before, I guess. But anyway, that's just the beginning. They did bring back the super cute churro cart over here, which I'm glad for. This railing is all been replaced, new landscaping down there. I'm gonna have to look at old footage to see how this compares, but that looks much nicer. I don't know why, but it feels a little more, just a little nicer. They've extended the pathway, the new surface here. This is all brand new. We watched them, this was dirt not long ago. As we saw it from the Disneyland Railroad, this is all dirt, so they've rebuilt this. This is all brand new. Looks nice, it feels good. I was hoping for the paving stone type situation that they have at Tianas in Magic Kingdom, but this looks nice too. By the way, I forgot to notice, you know what? Yeah. They did in fact create a little extension of the queue here entering Winnie the Pooh, which we're going to do in a minute. The ride is kind of secondary. What I'm looking at is happening over here, but this is really brilliant. I love this. It used to be just one simple path, and then the guests just sort of chose whether or not to go right into Winnie the Pooh or kept going in further into Critter Country. But they've created a little defined rail here. They've lifted it up. There's an elevation, cobblestones. This is what we saw when we were at the Hungry Bear. You can look through from the Hungry Bear into here, and I could see this railing, and I thought, my God, that looks like a new queue. And sure enough, I mean, it's not quite as long as I thought it might be, which is, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to go that far because the queue hardly ever gets out this far. But that looks really, really nice. I'm really happy with that. This is not new. This is always here. That stroller parking sign, though, seems new to me. But the fencing here is as it was before. But this is where we start getting into, views that we haven't seen in quite a while. They've installed some light fixtures here at the entrance, which is great. We get to our first good look at the front of the building there, the yellow and green paint, which we've been seeing them put on when we're on the Disneyland Railroad. They've constructed some sort of arch here. We can only see the very tip of it, but right there's an arch and then more light fixtures extending out from that. So this is different, I think, than what you see at Magic Kingdom. But it's definitely a more defined. Again, there wasn't very much definition at Splash. You would just kind of walk down the path, alongside the mountain, and then ropes would kind of tell you where to go. But now we've got these steel arches. I would assume they're probably going to apply a little more theming to that, but we'll see. But that's definitely giving you a proper entrance. Oh, by the way, there's like an awning, a wood awning built here as well. That's definitely new. That's kind of detailed. I'm kind of digging it. That kind of looks fun. I'm hoping that when we get onto Winnie the Pooh, we can get maybe a little bit more elevated view. New trim on that was always there. They used to bring a tree out of there. It was like a sawmill. But the green trim and the white, it looks really, really nice. And it's aged too. It doesn't have a new finish to it, which is I think a good choice. I'm still trying to figure out what that thing is. It looks like steel, but who knows? More light fixtures there on the entrance. And then we can even head to the back. This is a view that we have not seen in a long time. Look what they've done to Tianas Tunnel. We've been watching them close that. That used to be wide open. You guys recall from our old construction reports, we were kind of mystified by what they were doing there. But they've closed that up. They've given it a wood finish, which is really cool. Let me see if I can get a little further to the right. Yeah. So the assumption is that they're closing that up in order to provide some kind of effect similar to what you see at Magic Kingdom, where you're going through, you're being shrunk down. At the Magic Kingdom, there's a moment where you are a human and then you become a frog, and there's this sort of trippy psychedelic effect happening. It's in a different location. This is in a different spot in the story, so I don't know if they're going to be able to do that or not here, if that's what this is. But certainly there's a reason why they chose to close that up. We'll have to ride to find out. Oh, I didn't even notice this too. They've applied... Oh, you know what? I'm just now realizing. I was thinking that where the wood is up there, that's where the boats went by, but the boats were actually where the cobblestone is. That's the part, that's where the boats went right there. They've closed that up, and then they've added another layer on top of that. Looks like we've got all kinds of new roof shingles on here. And I don't know if this is finished or not. It could be that they're going to finish that further to give it a different stain, a different look. But I kind of like this unfinished color. Back there's a ladder type thing. Is that? There's something like that on the second Lift Hill barn that almost feels like it's supposed to be there. That's part of the theming. I wonder. I'll show you guys that later. There's another one right there. I don't know. It's kind of trippy. Heading back down the path because we're going to jump in Winnie the Pooh real quick. But one thing I also wanted to observe, and we watched them bring in those trees right there, those magnolias, but they've added, we can't see these from the Mark Twain, but they've added some other trees here, giving this place a little bit more life. We've got hey guys, how are you?
Hey, we love you.
Thank you guys. You can see the light fixtures definitely added there. They've been there for a little while, but we're gonna have to get back on the Mark Twain to see how that looks today. We're gonna do another update on Friday, so stay tuned for that. This is just a kind of a cursory look at the construction, but for now, let's ride. Again, digging this entrance. This is definitely superior to how it was. I love that they're creating that definition. They're telling guests, showing guests how they want them to queue if it ever gets out to that point, which is great. But from here on in, actually, I'm expecting things to be like they were, I think.
Ta-ta for now.
All this has been finished and, freshened up, paint and polish, but not changed. Water in the river, that's nice. Pooh Sticks River. Yeah. Thank you.
It looks like
One blustery day in the holiday hour, a little bear named Winnie the Pooh set off in search of honey.
Look, Mama, look! I'm a kite! Hang on tightly, Roo!
Happy Wednesday.
We'll save you, Piglet! First the wind, and now this.
Whee! This is fun!
Goodness gracious.
I'm Tigger! Tougher the pumpkin Tigger! Honey, beware, beware! You'll see them multiply. What a wonderful dream!
Wait, look! Oh, wake up!
find my present to be quite delicious.
Goodness gracious.
You'll never guess what it is. The wonderful thing about you is that you get birthday presents.
Oh, that was fun.
I don't hear the bees. Oh, there you go. Very faintly. So no changes whatsoever that I could see anyway. No guest-facing changes. Looks pretty clean. Anything that they did is probably something that we won't notice. Pooh Corner is open during construction. And looks pretty much like it did before. No changes here, though we weren't expecting any changes. And then the middle section is also still open, the plush section, but the rear part is still under construction. That's going to become Lewis's Critter Club, so we won't be able to go back there today, but I mean, this all looks very much like Old Critter Country. It's going to feel like Old Critter Country too, even when they're done. That is my expectation. I guess with the exception of Rue's house. Rue's house won't make it because, well, that's Lewis's Critter Club now. But I'm sure they'll have a new scene to put up there, and it'll be just as fun and delightful, I'm sure. The Winnie the Pooh and Tigger meet and greet area. No visible changes here, to my eye anyway. Looks about the same. So I guess that's our second look at Tianas Bayou Adventure. We got a peek through the walls last week on a construction report. This is going to be a fluid situation, developing situation. This is not a final product, but just sort of a sneak peek at what's happening here at Bayou Country. Stay tuned, as always, to our construction reports, as we're going to be able to start watching this again and give you week-to-week updates on what's happening. As for Winnie the Pooh, it is just a delight to have the 100-acre wood back, just like it was. Everything is as it should be over here. It's a little more capacity, which is great. We get a little, people have a little more to do in the parks now, so I'm very, very relieved, very happy that they brought this back, and happy that it's pretty much the same attraction that we've always loved, so that's always great. And as for Tianas Bayou Adventure, oh, they added a bunch of steel. I didn't even see that when I walked by here. We can begin doing construction updates from here as well. I can report that they have already... Hey, how are you guys? Hi. They've already... Sorry. They've sealed up our little gaps. Just look at that. We're going to get one shot. We got one shot. It worked. It played out. We got one shot. What's that steel? Duh. It's the gift shop. It's the Haunted Mansion gift shop. Stay tuned to Fresh Baked. We'll be talking about that in our next construction report for sure. But there it is. That's the beginning of the Haunted Mansion gift shop. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna keep looking at this and keep going. We gotta do a proper video on all that. So follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's Fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. Subscribe to our newsletter. There's a link in the description. If you like the show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked. See you next time. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.